Hey guys, J-Man here. All right, let's talk about the High Republic number 2. So, if you haven't seen my thoughts on High Republic number 1, you can go back and check that video out. For those of you who may not know me or are not subscribed to my channel, consider subscribing, of course, first and foremost. But I try to review everything just as it is. So what that means is that I don't really follow a lot of the creators of books. So I don't know a lot of, the quote unquote Twitter stuff that's going on or whatever. I do know that there's the Kathleen Kennedy kind of side of things for Star Wars, and then there's the Favreau Filoni. So I'm calling it the FFU, the Favreau Filoni universe. And then I guess there's the Kathleen Kennedy universe. So I know that there's these factions and these people are kind of against each other. And then some of the writers, they want to tell these types of stories to appeal to this sort of demographic. And then there's, this faction who wants to tell these kind of stories, keep it a little bit more in the classic Star Wars era and the George Lucas feel. I'm personally really into the George Lucas kind of stuff. The three films. Rogue One I like as well. The prequels, they're okay. I'm not really dying over the prequels. They're not garbage, but they're okay. The sequels, they ruined Han Solo and they ruined Luke Skywalker, so it's very difficult to get on board with the sequels when they kind of ruined two of the most important characters of all of Star Wars, and arguably Luke, who's maybe one of the most important characters in pop culture, period. Like maybe since like Superman or like Godzilla or like James Bond, he's up there with the pantheon of these, Batman, Superman, these characters. So for ruining him, that's a pretty big sin in pop culture. So I love The Mandalorian. I think it's a great series. I've liked every episode of Mandalorian, even the ones that people thought were boring or not as good. So my thoughts on High Republic 1 was that, it wasn't all that bad. There was some really stupid things that happened. And if you watch my review, I actually called out that lightsaber thing where the character is on a lightsaber and she kind of she sticks it in a tree to stop herself from falling. I thought, I don't think that would work. I think I've heard that the writer has come out and said, yeah, that was a fail. But it is what it is. So my point in telling you all this for the couple of minutes here is that I want you to know that I'm only going to review this comic. I'm not going to discuss any of the political beliefs of any party involved in the creation of this book. I'm not going into the Twitter feeds. I'm not going into someone calling someone an ism or an ist or whatever. I'm not going to get into that. And it's just if I get into that, then it's just going to make, talking about comics even worse. The comic book industry is already not doing great. DC's limited so many titles. Marvel, there's a lot of books that are not that great either. So I'm just trying to focus on what I'm reading. So I'm going to review the High Republic number 2, not the creators of the High Republic. Okay, I hope that's clear. As always, I do not censor or remove comments. If you want to share your thoughts, whatever they may be, let me know. And if you think I'm an idiot for not getting into the backstory of these people, then that's fine. I'm okay with that. That's it. Okay. So number 2, again, this book on its own is fine. There's actually a kind of a cool mystery going on, and I kind of like the story. But there's some really cringe things that happen, and I'm going to try to maybe wrap my head around why they're happening. But they give you this timeline here to tell you that the High Republic is before the Phantom Menace and all that other stuff. So there's everything there. They tell you about the Starlight Beacon, which is on the Outer Rim. It's like a little space station. It's supposed to inspire hope or whatever. And we're introduced to, so last issue we were introduced to, I don't have all the names memorized. It was Keeve Trennis and Sskeer. Sskeer is her Jedi Master. He has one arm. They did mention in the last issue that his arm is growing back, or it's going to grow back, I think. So they're on this mission to check out this ship that has a distress call. They've got 2 other characters with them, these 2 guys here. And one guy's name is Ceret. It's Ceret, and the way Skier says it is Ceret, and the other guy's name is Tarek. It's like the same name backwards. So they're twins. They feel each other's pain, and it's like the twin. It's the twins from G.I. Joe. Remember those guys, Tomax and Zaymot? That's basically what this is. So they're Jedi as well. I don't know if they're trying to say that they're like non-binary characters or something, but it's an alien race, so to me that doesn't matter. There's stuff like that in Star Trek, so that doesn't really bother me. But one thing that does bother me is, and this is the first section of dialogue here, and I'm reading this through Comixology because I don't really have enough interest in buying this actual book, but I want to share my thoughts, and I want to make sure that I get this book in the morning when it comes out digitally. So this is Trennis, who is, she's now a Jedi. She is giving her thoughts, and she says, she's talking about the Force, and she says, the Force is with me. I am one with the Force, blah, blah, blah. And right off the bat, this is the first section of dialogue, and I thought, why are you putting this in here? You shouldn't be demeaning the Force, and if you're a Jedi, you definitely shouldn't be going, oh, blah, 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 the Force. I don't know who that is aimed at. Is that supposed to tell me, a person who loves Star Wars, that, oh, I shouldn't care about the Force? See, this is what I'm talking about. The overall like story of what's going on here is pretty cool, but there's these little plot points. Where you're like, this is just stupid. Like, why is this in here? So they're fighting. There's a few other moments too where you're just like, why is this here? So they're fighting and they're just practicing. They show up to the ship and it's all destroyed. So they got to figure out what happens. They board the ship and there's gas and stuff around there, so that's fine. And Trennis is she's just being very like critical of Skier, and I guess supposedly he's not acting as himself. He's a little bit more, he has more rage in him than usual. I mean, these characters are too new for us to be getting into this thing. What they should be starting out with is having them be really friendly with each other. I don't like this Jedi Master versus Padawan. She's a Jedi Master as well now, so they should be equals. And if they're partners, that's fine, and they can bicker, but that's not what's happening here. It's more like she's just critical of whatever he does. I mean, and that doesn't really warm you up to that character either, so that's just not really a good way to handle a new character. But okay, anyway. So Skier is getting, I don't know if he's getting some flashbacks of stuff that happened and how he lost his arm, whatever. They're trying to figure out what's happening, and at one point he says use the Force, and she says, yeah, like in her mind she's saying, yeah, because I wouldn't have thought of it. And it's just like, why, again, these little moments here really just take you out of this character. You're just like, well, you're irritating. Again, the story of what's going on, okay, there's like the ship, it's been destroyed, check this out, there's like, so it's like there's like a hut with some of the Gamorrean guards and stuff that all killed and everything. You're like, ooh, what happened here? So this is a very interesting panel. And the art's pretty good. I like the colors. Green is my favorite color. I like the colors here. So nothing against the artwork or the coloring or the inking, any of that stuff. It's fine. I like this. So then this guy here, I don't know who's who, and it doesn't matter to me really. There he's saying, oh, there's like some kind of poison or something. They're trying to figure out. They had this cargo, they had this wheat, and they're trying to figure out where did they get this wheat. Meanwhile, they thought everyone was dead on the ship, but then they're attacked, so that's kind of cool. And it's this guy above here, this character, some like assassin or something. So Skier like literally just destroys the crap out of him. I'll turn this so we can see. That's a pretty good page. Good little massacre here of that guy. So yeah, pretty good. They go back to the Starlight beacon, and they're like, well, we don't know what's going on. Where did the Hutt get this wheat? And they're like, well, let's go investigate that world. So they go to that. So some of them, Skier and one of the twins goes there. And there's like all this, he sees like a little Greedo guy through the wheat fields, and he follows him in, and then this thing attacks him. And they're like, oh my God, what happened? And then it's just like, oh no, he's missing, and then this is to be continued. So that brings us to the end of that one. I have not read any of the novels of this. I don't plan on it because I'm not interested enough to read a novel. But again, I'm being as fair as I can with this book. There's definitely times that are really stupid, and I'm trying to think is it that the writers want to tell a proper, good, old-fashioned Star Wars tale, and they're being told that they have to insert these little moments or these little things in order to try to justify appealing this to some of these Kathleen Kennedy type, fans? And I don't want to put names on people and label things. Look, if you like it, then you like it, and that's great, because I think Star Wars is big enough that you could tell a lot of unique stories and you can have a lot of unique characters. I know some people don't like the designs of Trennis with her shaved thing. I was like, well, I remember when I saw those long braids, I thought that was kind of silly too. So, I mean, the hairstyle is the hairstyle, whatever. I'm not going to attribute a hairstyle to a certain type of group or whatever. And if that is what the creators are targeting and that's what they think is going to get this group, then that's what they think. I don't know if that works. I don't judge characters based on their hairstyle. I also don't judge characters based on their skin color. I judge characters based on whether I think they're cool or not. Lando happens to be one of my favorite characters. He's sort of my favorite. Like, Luke Skywalker is the best character, obviously, in Star Wars. This is not really a big debate. Luke Skywalker is amazing. I always like Lando. He had a cape, and he flew the Falcon, and he blew up the Death Star, the second one. Like, Lando's cool. So as a kid, I never questioned my like of Lando or whatever. He redeemed himself. He was a cool guy. He ran that Cloud City. I mean, Lando's awesome. I would have loved to have, done cosplay as Lando as a kid, or dress up as Halloween. Obviously that would never happen today for the reasons that that the way the world is now. And I think it's a little sad that there might be some children out there who want to portray certain characters and they're told that they can't. That's sort of a different video and not the focus of of this video. So yeah, High Republic, it's not a big pile of garbage, but the problem is that there's these little moments, and if you're a hardcore Star Wars fan, it's a little bit cringe, and it's something that's not necessary. It's not necessary to insert these things or create characters in such a way to appeal to certain people. Just have the character be the character and see where it goes. You know what I mean? It's not a problem that people hate Rey. The problem is that you're saying that Rey is Luke, or Rey is greater than or better than Luke. That's the problem. It has nothing to do with Daisy Ridley. It has nothing to do with, unless you don't like her as an actress, whatever. But it doesn't have anything to do with Daisy Ridley or the character of Rey. The first half an hour of Force Awakens, Rey was fine. It's only when you start to say that, oh, she's better in the Force. Oh, she knows more. Oh, she's quicker to train. Oh, she's way better than Luke. And it's like, oh, she'll be the new Luke. She'll be the new Skywalker. This is where the Star Wars fans really start to get upset. It has nothing to do with the fact of her gender or her skin color or the actress. It has to do with you replacing a beloved classic character in the heart of Star Wars with someone new who's obviously not that good. Okay, enough about all of that. High Republic, issue number 2, it's fine. But I don't think a lot of people are going to give it a chance because you're inserting little stupid stuff in here. And people don't like it. So I don't know. We got to see where this is going to go. I will continue to review it and give you my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.